morning, students. Today we are going to read the chapter 4 in the Kingdom of Fools from the book Moments. The story has been taken from the book Folk Tales from India, written by A.K. Ramanujan. This story is a Kannada folk tale. Kannada is regional language of Karnataka. So let's begin the explanation. And before that, let us discuss the title of the story, In the Kingdom of Fools, which means the state where people are not so wise, they are not intelligent. In this story, the king, his ministers and his advisors all are fools. That means they are not wise and intelligent. When this kind of people rule the kingdom, then what all happens has been told in this story. And it is believed that fools are so dangerous that only very wise people can manage them, can handle them. Who are the fools in this story? What happens to them? To know about this, let's read the chapter In the Kingdom of Fools. So let's begin the explanation of the chapter. In the Kingdom of Fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. Idiots means the people who are not intelligent. So, in the Kingdom of Fools, the king and his minister both were not intelligent. Understand? They didn't want to run things like other kings, so they decided to change night into day and day into night. So, what did they decide? King and his minister, they did not want to run their kingdom like other kings did. So they decided to do something different things. Okay. And for that, they started treating night as day and day as night. Means they ordered that the work which was done at night would be done during the day, and the work which was done during the daytime will be done during night time. Understand? So they ordered that everyone should be awake at night, till their fields and run their businesses only after dark, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. Understand? Here the meaning of till means cultivate farms. Okay. Now the meaning of these lines. So the king and his advisors passed an order that everyone in the kingdom would work at night and nobody would sleep at night. The farmers would do farming at night, and the ones who ran business would do business at night. As soon as the sun rose, everyone would go to sleep. If someone would disobey the order, he would be punished with death. Understand? Now, the people did as they were told for fear of death. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. Now, people were scared. That's why they followed the suit. Suit means the rule, law. And if they did not obey the king's order, they would be sentenced with death penalty. So they obeyed the order, although it was very strange, very, very weird. The king and his ministers, both the fools, okay, and they became very happy that all the people in the kingdom were following their order. One day, a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Everyone was asleep, not a mouse stirring. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. Okay, stirring means moving around, running here and there. Guru means saint, okay, or teacher. Now, the meaning of these lines. One day, a guru arrived in the kingdom of fools with his disciple. Understand? He saw that it was a beautiful city and it was a sunny day, but could not find anyone around. They were surprised. Everyone was asleep and no one even not a mouse was stirring outside. Understand? Stirring means moving around. They could not find a single mouse moving around there. That it was so quiet. As everyone, even the tiniest creature, the mice, were asleep. The people had taught their cattle mean like cows, buffaloes, sheep, goat, and so on. Okay, people taught them to sleep during daytime. So everyone, human as well as animals, were sleeping at daytime when the sun was in the sky. Understand? Now, next line. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. So what happened? These two strangers, means the Guru and his disciple, to the kingdoms of fools, were not aware that such kind of order had been passed in the city. Okay, so they were surprised to see that everyone was sleeping during daytime. They kept on wandering around. Wandering means moving here and there uselessly. Understand? And they saw that whole city and was just suddenly woke up as soon as the sun set. Understand? And it was night, so they woke up and started doing their work. Businessmen were doing business and farmers were doing farming. Understand? Now next paragraph. The two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same, a single dudu. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost a dudu. Understand? So astonishment means very great surprise, and dudu means a Kannada word for a coin, unit of money. Understand? We call money in Kannada language. It's a unit of money. Now the meaning of this paragraph. The Guru and the student were very hungry. Okay, when the shop opened at night, they went to buy groceries. They were surprised to see that whatever they bought from the shop cost one dudu. The things were very cheap out there, and whether you buy a big bunch of bananas or you buy a big bag of rice, it costs only one dudu. Okay, everything was at the same price in the kingdom of fools. The Guru and his disciple were delighted. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. Understand? Delighted means they became very happy. So, the Guru and his student, they were very happy because the food in this kingdom was very cheap and they could buy a lot of food just for a dudu, means a rupee. Okay. Now, when they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. So after having their dinner, whatever it was, okay, both realized, particularly Guru realized, understand, that the kingdom was a kingdom of fools. And he decided not to stay there any longer because it was unsafe for them. This is no place for us. Let's go, he said to his disciple. The wise Guru told his disciple that the place was not right for them and asked him to leave the place at once. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Everything was cheap here. All he wanted was good, cheap food. Meaning of the line, this student was a foodie. He loved food. Okay, he loved to eat, and that's why he did not want to leave such a place because the food was cheap there. Next line, the Guru said, "They are fools. This won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next. Meaning, Guru tried to make his disciple understand, okay, and told him that everyone out there was a fool, and it's very dangerous for them. The kingdom wouldn't last for a long time and they could harm them too. Okay, now the next line. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay there. Meaning, this disciple is not foresighted. Foresighted means one who could see or read the future, whatever happens in the future, okay, he could see. So disciple was not foresighted like his Guru, and couldn't understand what his Guru was trying to make him understand and want to say. So he wanted to live there only and enjoy the cheap food. Understand? The Guru finally gave up and said, do you do what you want now. I'm going, and left. Meaning of the line. This way, finally Guru left alone, leaving his disciple in the kingdom of the fools. This disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas and ghee and rice and wheat, and grew fat like a street side sacred bull. Understand? See the meaning of the difficult words. Sacred bull means a bull is not being domesticated and wanders here and there, and comparatively large in size. Understand? Meaning of the line. So this way, this disciple stayed back in the kingdom of fools, and every day he ate a lot of food, due to which he became fat as a huge bull, sacred bull. Understand? Next, one bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in, and as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. Now, sneaked in means doing something secretly. Understand? Meaning of this line, these lines. One day, a thief entered a merchant's house. Okay, and he made a hole in the wall to gain access into the house. When he was about to move out of the house with the loot, okay, the wall broke and fell down on his head, and he died on the spot. Okay, now next line. His brother ran to the king and complained. Whose brother? Thief brother. Okay, Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built a good, strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this justice. Understand? Now the meaning of this paragraph. See the words meaning. Pursuing means follow. An ancient trade. Some meanings are on the next page. You can see Highness, a title used for the king. Pursuing means pursuing his ancient trade means doing his traditional work, means that is theft. Okay, so theft was his ancient trade. Compensate means to make good for the loss. Now meaning of this paragraph. The thief's younger brother went to the king. Who went to the king? Thief's younger brother. And complained that his brother was following his ancient trade, means ancient trade means robbing. Okay, robbing was their traditional trade. While he was working, the wall fell on his head and he died. The thief brother was taking advantage of the king's foolishness. He said that the merchant whose wall has fallen down on his brother was the culprit. Means what is the meaning culprit here? And responsible for the crime. So what did he say? he said to the king, as he knew that the king was very foolish, so he said to the king that the merchant whose wall has fallen down on his brother was the culprit, okay, was responsible for the death of his brother. So he should have made a strong wall. Who said? Younger brother of thief. He said that the owner of the house should have built a strong wall. He requested the king to punish the merchant and get compensation for his family. Okay, as you know that the king was foolish, so he gave order, okay, to the merchant, or he just gave order to punish the merchant and get compensation for his family. Compensation means loss, to fulfill the loss, whatever lost his younger brother had. The king said, justice will be done, don't worry, and at once summoned the owner of the house. Summon means to call upon someone or to call. Now, meaning of this line, the king was so foolish that he didn't consider the fact that the dead man was committing a crime, that is theft, at the time of his death. He didn't consider this thing, okay, and he just only thought that the man died because the wall fell on him, and the owner of the house whose wall fell on him or upon him had to be punished. So he called the merchant. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, what's your name? Okay. Such and such, your highness. Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house? Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him. The accused pleads guilty. Your war killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish. Meaning, as soon as the merchant appeared, okay, when king called him, then king asked his name. Then the king asked him whether he was at home when the dead man, means the thief, was burgling his house. Merchant replied that yes, he was at home only. The thief made a hole in the wall and entered his house, and when he was trying to go out, the wall fell down on him because it was weak. Then the king told the merchant that he was guilty. Who was guilty? Merchant was guilty because his wall was weak. It was built weakly. Okay. He did wrong thing. Due to his weak wall, the thief died, and now he would be punished. Understand? Now next line. Lord, said the helpless merchant, I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him. Who is that? My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. Okay. Now the meaning of the paragraph. You can see the difficult words meaning to the left side of the page. Accused means convict, criminal. Okay. Now the meaning of the paragraph. The merchant pleaded in front of the king, requested that, my lord, it was not my mistake, not my fault. The wall was weak because the person who made the wall did not construct it properly. Hence, you should punish him. And further, he added that the wall was made during his father's time. The person who built it was very old now. He knew him as he lived nearby. Okay. Now the next paragraph. The king sent out messenger to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. What is the meaning of bricklayer? Bricklayer means is a person who lays the bricks and build the wall. okay, of the house. So the king sends his soldier to call the bricklayer who built the wall. They tied his hands and feet and brought him in the king's palace. You, there, did you build this man's wall in his father's time? He said, Yes, my lord, I did. The king asked him that, did he build the wall? And he replied that, yes, he did. Okay, now next line. What kind of a wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man. See, poor man. And kill means the thief is poor man. Okay, and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. Meaning of the line, the king said that the man had built a weak wall and therefore it fell on the poor thief's head and it killed him. The bricklayer would be punished for this with death sentence. Understand? Now the next paragraph. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, Please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good, but that was because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I could not keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. Okay, now you can see the meanings of difficult words to the left side of the page. Execution means punished by death. Anklets means chains. Shackles, not shackles, but chains, or you can say pile. Okay. Jingling means light ringing sound. Distracted means disturbed concentration. Now the meaning of the paragraph. So you can see that everyone is passing on the blame to another person. So when the king was about to pass an order to execute the bricklayer, he requested the king to listen to him. He agreed that he didn't make the wall properly. It was because of a girl who was roaming, girl means dancing girl, okay, who was roaming around in the street and her anklets were making a jingling sound. So due to her anklets jingle sound, he was not, bricklayer was not able to concentrate on building of the wall properly, okay, or on his work, and so he built a weak wall. It was not his mistake, it was the fault of the girl, dancing girl. He added that he knew where the dancing girl lived and she should be punished instead of him, instead of the bricklayer. Understand? Next line, you're right, the case deepens. We must look into it. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. Let's get that dancer wherever she lives. Now the meaning. Now the king was satisfied with the bricklayer explanation, okay, and he was convinced with him. King was really convinced with him. Yes, now who is responsible for the death of the thief? Dancing girl. So that's why now he called the dancing girl. Okay, he tells that this case is very complicated and will not be able to solve it so easily, and that's why he ordered his messenger to get that dancing girl. Now next line. The dancing girl, now an old man, came trembling to the court. Did you walk up and down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him, so he built a bad wall. It has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. Now, meaning of the paragraph. Now, the dancing girl had become an old woman and she was trembling as she entered the court. The king asked her that many years ago, was she dancing and roaming around in the lane while the bricklayer was constructing the wall? Her movement distracted him. She confirmed him. He told her that as she was roaming around with her anklets jingling here and there, it distracted the bricklayer attention. Due to this, he could not build the proper wall. Okay, and he built a bad wall which fell on the thief and he was killed. It was because of her that the thief died and she would be punished with the death. Now, next paragraph. You can see the meanings of the words to the left side of the page. She thought for a minute and said, "My lord, wait, I know now why I was walking up and down that street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. He was lazy scoundrel. He made so many excuses. Said he would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all day. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. Goldsmith is a person who makes ornaments out of gold. Okay, and scoundrel means a dishonest person. You can see the meanings. Burglar means robber, thief. Now the meaning of the paragraph. Now the dancing girl transferred the blame onto another person. She said that she was roaming around in the lane again and again because she had to visit the goldsmith's shop. She had given some gold to him to make jewelry out of it for her. He was a dishonest person. He was making excuses for not making her ornaments in time. He kept asking her to come next time. Due to this, she had to move to his house at least a dozen times. So the dancing girl said that it was not her fault. It was the fault of the goldsmith. Understand? So that's why goldsmith is responsible for the death of the thief. Next line. That was when this bricklayer saw me. It's not my fault. My lord, it's the damn goldsmith's fault. So what she added? She said that when the bricklayer saw her and got distracted, it was the fault of the goldsmith because of whom she was roaming in the street again and again. Next line. Poor thing. She's absolutely right, thought the king, weighing the evidence. We have got the real culprit at last. Get the goldsmith, wherever he is hiding, at once. Damn means a swear word to show anger. Now the next. See the meaning of these lines first. Now the king says that the poor dancing girl was totally right. She is innocent. Okay. He thought a lot and finally said that now they knew who is the real culprit. He ordered to bring the goldsmith. Okay, now next line. The king's bailiffs searched for the goldsmith who was hiding in a corner of his shop. When he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. Now you can see the meanings of difficult words. Evidence means proof. Culprit means person responsible for the guilt. Bailiffs means officers enforcing the law. And accusation means claim about wrong done. Now, the meaning of these lines. The bailiffs in the king's court went in search of the goldsmith and brought him to the court. And he was hiding inside his shop. As he came to know, now it is his turn to be punished. Okay, so now he had been brought there. So when he was brought in front of the king, he told his side of the story. Next line, "My lord," he said, "I am poor goldsmith. It's true, I made this dancer come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I couldn't finish making her jewelry before I finished the rich merchant's orders. They had a wedding coming and they wouldn't wait. You know how impatient rich men are." Now, the meaning of this paragraph. He said that the dancing girl was right. He made many excuses and made her visit his shop again and again, but it was not his fault. Okay, he had an order from a rich merchant and they had a wedding at their place and were in a hurry to get their order, and that's why the dancing girl's work was getting delayed. Next paragraph now. Who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this work, women's jewelry? Made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of his wall, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him. Can you name him? So now king asked the goldsmith to name the rich merchant who is responsible for the death of this thief. The goldsmith named the merchant, and he was none other than the original owner of the house whose wall had fallen. Now justice had come full circle, thought the king, back to the merchant. When he was rudely summoned back to the court, he arrived crying, It was not me, but my father who ordered the jewelry. He is dead. I am innocent." Okay. You can see the meanings. Impatient means not willing to wait. Jewelry means ornaments. Made a mess means made trouble. Now the meaning of the line. The goldsmith said that the merchant was the same merchant whose house wall had fallen down and killed the thief. Justice has come full circle means that the story ended at the same person from whom it has started. Okay, the story started. The thief died under the wall of the same merchant whose jewelry this goldsmith was making. Once again the merchant was called. He was crying and he knew that the king was foolish and he would give him death punishment. He said that it was not he who had ordered the jewelry, but it was his father, and his father was dead now. Okay, and it was none of his fault. Now the But the king consulted his ministers and ruled decisively. It's true, your father is the true murderer. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. You have inherited everything from that criminal father of yours. His riches as well as his sins. I knew at once, even when I first set eyes on you, that you were at the root of this horrible crime. You must die. Okay. Now the king consulted his minister and gave the decision that the merchant's father was the murderer. The thief died because of him. Now, as the merchant's father was not alive, and someone had to be punished for the crime, so he said that the merchant's son, who had inherited or enjoyed everything from his father, okay, would have to take the punishment for his wrongdoing as well. He added that when he had seen the merchant for the first time, at that moment he had a feeling that he was the culprit. the king announced that now the merchants would have to die. Why he has to die? Because he is enjoying and inheriting all the properties from the father. Father, he is now dead. Father is dead now, so that's why somebody is needed to be punished. Understand? Now the next paragraph. And he ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. As the servants sharpened the stake and got it ready for the final impaling of the criminal, it occurred to the minister that the rich merchant was somehow too thin to be properly executed on the stake. He appealed to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. Now see the meaning. Impaling means execution with sharp stake. Okay. And stake, what is a stake? A post with a sharp pointed end used to pierce through something. Okay. And what is one more meaning is there for the word execution? An official killing of someone. Now the meaning of the paragraph. When this new weapon was getting ready, the minister felt that the merchant was very thin and he could not be executed in this way, cannot be killed, okay, cannot be punished in this way. He told this to the king and king got worried. What shall we do? He said. When suddenly it struck him that all they needed to do was to find a man fat enough to fit the stake. Okay, are you getting? See the meaning of the line. The king got an idea when the minister told him that the man is too thin to be fitted to the stake. So now king got an idea that they should catch hold of a man who was fat enough to be executed with this stake. The merchant would not be put to death because he was too thin and was not to be fitted, okay, to be executed with the stake. They thought of punishing another person instead. This, and he was culprit according to them. So they were just thinking punishing another person instead of the merchant. One who was fat enough to be executed with a stake. Understand? Now the next paragraph. The servants were immediately sent all over the town looking for a man who would fit the stake, and their eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened himself for a month on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. Okay, so meaning finally the king sent his servants around the kingdom to find out or look for a man who was fat enough to be executed with the stake. So they found the guru's disciple who had become very fat because of overeating. What did he eat? Rice, lot of rice and wheat and ghee. Okay, he became very fat. So they found him to be executed. Now next paragraph. What have I done wrong? I am innocent. I am a sannyasi. He cried. That may be true, but it's the royal decree that we should find a man fat enough to fit the stake, they said, and carried him to the place of execution. Decree means order, rule. Okay. Now the meaning of the paragraph. Now the student said, disciple said, that he was a sannyasi. Sannyasi means a sage who doesn't have to do with anything worldly things. Okay, it's called sannyasi, and he had not done anything wrong. He was innocent. Then why they were taking him to the stake? The king's servant said that he was innocent. They know but they were ordered to catch hold of a fat man who could be executed with the stake, and he was fit for it, and that's why they are taking him along with them. Then next line, he remembered his wise guru's words. This is a city of fools, and you don't know what they will do next. Meaning of the line is very important. The disciple reminded of, now he's reminded of his guru's word, and Guruji, who was a wise man, had told him that it was a city of fools and they could harm them. Now they were taking him along, means who were taking? Servants. King's servants were taking disciple along to them to execute. Now the next paragraph. While he was waiting for death, he prayed to his Guru in his heart, asking him to hear his cry wherever he was. The Guru saw everything in a vision, and he had magic powers. He could see far, and he could see the future as he could see the present and the past. Now meaning of the paragraph. The helpless disciple prayed to the Guru and asked him to come to rescue him. The Guru could visualize the disciple's message now. Due to his magical power, he could see future. He could see everything. He could see the future, the present, the past, and he could see everything in the vision. Now, he arrived at once to save his disciple who had got himself into such a scrape through love of food. Scrape means a difficult situation that one has got into. Now the meaning of the line. The Guru arrived there to save his disciple at once. The disciple was trapped in a difficult and serious situation. They were about to execute him, although he had not done anything wrong. So the Guru came to rescue him from this situation. Why did Guru appear there? Because his disciple was innocent. Understand? So now, as soon as he arrived, he scolded the disciple and told him something in a whisper. Whisper means speaking without producing any sound. So, meaning of the line. As the Guru met his disciple, he scolded him because he did not obey him and stayed back in the city of the fool. He whispered something in his ears. He spoke slowly into his ears. And then he went to the king and addressed him. O wisest of kings, who is greater, the Guru or the disciple? Of course, the Guru, no doubt about it. Why do you ask? Then put me to the stake first. Put my disciple to death after me. Meaning of the line. The Guru tried to trap the king in his words, with his words. He asked him who was greater between a Guru and his disciple. King replied that of course the Guru was greater. The Guru said that for that reason, the king must execute the Guru before executing his disciple, his student. Understand? Now, next. When the disciple heard this, he understood and began to clamor. Clamor means strong protest. Me first. You brought me here first, but me to death first, not him. So, meaning of the line. When disciple heard his Guru's words, he started shouting that he wanted to die first. Now the next line. The Guru and the disciple now got into a fight about who should go first. The king was puzzled by his behavior. He asked the Guru, why do you want to die? Who chose him? Because we chose him because we needed a fat man for the stake. Understand? Now, clamor means strong protest. Puzzled means something that you can't understand. Now, meaning of the line. When the guru and disciple started arguing and fighting with each other that who would die first, the king got confused. He asked the guru that why did he want to die. They had caught the disciple. Who had caught the disciple? Means king. Because he was fat and they wanted a fat man who could be executed with the stake. Now next line. You shouldn't ask me such question. Put me to death first, replied the guru. Means guru refused to reply and he said that he wanted to die before his disciple. Understand? Next line. Why? There is some mystery here. As a wise man, you must make me understand. Who said? Guru. The king felt that there was some mystery behind it. The guru wanted to die before his disciple and was so eager to die. There must be some reason behind it. Meaning of the line. What's the meaning of the line? The king felt that there was some mystery behind it. That guru is dying first before his disciple. Okay, the guru wanted to die before his disciple and was so eager to die. Why? There must be some secret behind this, some reason behind this. Next line. Will you promise to put me to death? If I tell you, ask the guru. Guru said to the king to promise him that he would execute him first if he told him the secret about why he wanted to be executed first. So next paragraph, next line. The king gave him his solemn word. The guru took him aside out of the servant's earshot and whispered to him, do you know why we want to die right now, the two of us? We have been all over the world, but we have never found a city like this or king like you. That stake is the stake of the good of justice. It's new. It has never had a criminal on it. Okay. Now, so you can see earshot. Earshot means hearing distance. Understand? Now, let's go through the meaning of the paragraph. The king promised that he would execute him first. Means guru. The king would guru first. Then the guru took the king aside and slowly told him that they had roamed around the whole world, but they had not seen a city and king like him. He added that the stake which they would use to kill the disciple was the stake of justice, as it was new and it had not killed any criminal. Okay, next slide. Whoever dies on it first will be reborn as the king of this country. Further, Guru said that the one who would die first on this stake would be reborn. Okay, would take birth. Okay, you can say rebirth as the king of the kingdom. By telling all this, he is trying to trap the king. It is not going to happen actually. Understand? So now next line, and whoever goes next will be the future minister of this country. We are sick of our aesthetic life. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves as king and minister for a while. Now keep your word, my lord, and put us to death. Me first, remember. Okay. Now the meaning of the paragraph. Aesthetic life means that is the life of a sannyasi, strict life, life of discipline. Understand? Now the meaning of this paragraph. The one who would die next would be reborn as the minister of the kingdom. Who told this thing? Guru. The Guru added that he was tired of the life of sannyasi. He and his disciple wanted to live the life of a king and a minister. So he said that the king execute him first so that he is reborn as a king, and after him his disciple be executed so that he is reborn as a minister, or will be reborn as a minister. Now next slide. The king was now thrown into deep thought. He didn't want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life. He needed time. So he ordered the execution postponed to the next day and talked in secret with his minister. Understand? Now the meaning of the line. Postpone means to put off something for a later time. So after listening all this to the Guru, the king was in deep thought. He did not want that in the next life his kingdom be snatched away from him. He discussed this with his minister. Now the next line. It's not right for us to give over the kingdom to other in the next life. Let's go on the stake ourselves, and we will be reborn as king and minister again. Holy men do not tell lies, he said, and the minister agreed. Meaning of the line. Now the king told his minister that he did not want that in the next life his kingdom be taken away by someone. He added that the person was a holy man, and holy men never speak lie. They never speak a lie. Okay. He says that they should die first. Who should die first? King and his minister die first, so that they are reborn as king and minister of the kingdom. Understand? So he told the executioners, we will send the criminals tonight. When the first man comes to you, put him to death first. Then do the same to the second man. Those are my orders. Don't make any mistake. Now the meaning of the paragraph. You can see the meanings of tough words in this page. Ascetic means free of worldly pleasure, a sannyasi's life. Postpone means to delay. Executioner means persons who carry out execution. Okay, now the meaning of the paragraph. The king told his executioners that he would send the criminals at night. Who would send criminals at night? The king would send the criminals at night. Firstly, they should execute the person who came first, whom they see first, and then execute the second person. They should be careful, very very careful, and not make any mistake. Understand? So now next page. That night the king and his minister went secretly to the prison, released the Guru and the disciple, disguised themselves as the two, and as arranged beforehand with royal servants, were taken to the stake and promptly executed. Understand? Now you can see the meanings. Disguised means a different appearance in order to hide the identity. Now meaning of this paragraph. At night the king and his minister went to the prison where the Guru and his disciple were kept. Okay. They wore the clothes of the Guru and his disciple so that they resembled them. They looked like them. As it was told to the servants, they came and took them along and put them into the stake for execution. Understand? Means king already told the servants when they came. Two persons came. Okay. And they should take them along and put them into the stake for the execution. It means they exempted both the persons, the Guru and the disciple, and they went themselves to the prison. And this way, those executioner, they just held them to and just put them into the stake for execution. So this way, with his intelligence, the Guru was able to execute his foolish king, okay, and his foolish minister. When the bodies were taken down to be thrown to crows and vultures, the people panicked. Panic means they got frightened. Understand? You can see the meanings of the words in this page. So what happened? When the dead bodies, now they were executed. The king and the minister were executed. So when their dead bodies of king and the minister were taken away to be thrown to the vultures and the crows, the people trembled to see their faces. Okay? Oh my God, they were there, king and the minister. They saw before them the dead bodies of the king and the minister. The city was in confusion. Meaning, now everyone was trembling because the dead bodies were not of the guru and the disciple. Instead, they were the dead bodies of the king and the minister. So now, next line. All night they mourned and discussed the future of the kingdom. Some people suddenly thought of the guru and the disciple and caught up with them as they were preparing to leave town unnoticed. You can see the meaning, words meaning to the left side of the page. Panic means became frightened. Mourned means felt sad at the death. Persuade means to bring around. Understand? So now, meaning of this paragraph. Everyone in the kingdom was mourning the death of the king and his minister. In the morning, some people thought of the guru and his disciple and felt that they should go to them. As the guru and his disciple were planning to leave the kingdom secretly, the people stopped them. Next line. We people need a king and minister, said someone. Others agreed. They begged the guru and the disciple to be their king and their minister. The people of the kingdom thought that they needed a king and a minister, and so they requested the guru and his disciple to be the new king and minister of the kingdom. Next line. It didn't take many arguments to persuade the disciple, but it took longer to persuade the guru. Persuade means convince, to make understand. Meaning, the disciple agreed quickly, but it took some time to make the guru agree upon this. Okay. Now, the next line. They finally agreed to rule the kingdom of the foolish king and the silly minister on the condition that they could change all the old laws. From then on, night would again be night and day would again be day, and you could get nothing for a dudu. It became like any other place. And meaning of the line, this paragraph. So the guru agreed to be the king of the kingdom, but on the condition, it means he laid a condition, that from then, when he would be the king, everyone would work in the day and sleep at night. Also, the cost of things would vary mean different, and not be one dudu for anything as was the system earlier. It would be like any other place where everything had different rates. Finally, the guru converted the kingdom of fools into a normal kingdom. Understand? So this is all about this chapter in the kingdom of fools. Thank you so much.